Hi, model builders and Mustang fans. Welcome to another Ford product model car kit build. And we're going to do something from the Wayback Machine here today. This is a Monogram 1/32 scale snap together, roughly 1981 Mustang notchback kit. I agreed to do this one because a group of guys that I'm involved with is doing a snap together model challenge to see if we can make snap together model kits look half decent. And I was not going to cheat and use something made in recent history because some of them are actually really nice, kind of like the Ford Raptor that's out right now. But I found this on eBay and I thought, let's try doing something unusual and add another weirdo Mustang to my Mustang collection. So this is it. Just got here today from eBay. I'm embarrassed to say what I paid for it because I think it was too much. So we're going to look at it and see what's in the box. And this is the body shell, which is typical Monogram. It's pretty nicely molded. I'd done some research on what I was going to do with this ahead of time, and this is a rather curious model because it's a notchback car, but it has a Cobra front bumper on it, and it looks like the hood's got some faux scoopage there too, which was not going to be present on a base model notchback. I did own an 81 an 81 hatchback model. Not much different than this, but it's looking pretty good. It's got a key lock there molded in. The mirrors are molded in and attached, but that's okay on this. It's got wipers. Headlights are molded in. That's going to be fun to paint. And then he's got these notches down here where it snaps to the chassis. The chassis is not too terrible. It actually looks kind of like a Mustang as I remember laying underneath mine. It's got Monogram's trademark molded into the gas tank there. I might try to get rid of that. But it does have these goofy, hideous, god-awful side pipes molded into it, and we're going to do a side pipe delete on this. I think we can do it and still keep the slots there for the body to snap together. But that's not bad. We can pick out some detail on that. That's kind of what I expected. Actually, maybe a little better. The interior tub is pretty good. Detail on the door panels. No window cranks or armrests or anything. But the center console's there, the handbrake, shifter. It's a 3-pedal car. I guess it's supposed to be a V8 with side pipes and dual exhaust. One-piece windows. These are still looking pretty good considering they've been rattling around in a box for who knows how long. I imagine these parts were on a tree originally. The seller had kind of half put the car together just to make sure all the parts were there when he got it, so I don't know if something happened to that. Here's the instrument cluster. And these used to be almost exclusively wood grain treated plastic nonsense in the real car. We're not going to do that. We're just going to make it maybe aluminum looking or something there. That's okay. I can make that work. GT style wheels. Trying to get that into focus for you if I can. And unfortunately, as I said, the guy kind of put the kit roughly together and he snapped the wheels into the tires and they're not coming out. So I'm going to have to paint them together, which is going to be a joy. And then you get 2 seats that just snap down in there. No backs on them, so that's kind of a negative. Oh, and there's a steering wheel, which doesn't look like a real Mustang steering wheel. I'm pretty sure mine had the holes drilled in the spokes in my car. Looks very generic, doesn't it? Okay, so there's the generic steering wheel. It does come with decals, and I had to laugh when I looked at these decals because the clear coat that goes over these that makes the decal a decal, these are printed way off. I don't know if you can see that, but the running horses are not in there in their decal clear coat at all. And the stripes too, you can see, are really, really bad. So these are unusable, even if they were in good shape. I mean, these are too old. They'd fall apart when you try to use them, but that's not very good. That's not like Monogram. And that's it. That's all there is in the kit, and an instruction sheet, which I'm sure I'll need because this is very complex. So I'm going to wash it, prime it, and then start the painting process and see what we wind up with. So be back in a bit. Here's a quick update. I'm finishing up the interior. I just wanted to show this to you before I put everything together. The detailing here is not really that bad. You can pick it out with paint pretty well. The dash is actually pretty good. It has all the details like the radio and everything in there. So I just painted this kind of like it should be from the factory. Now the factory Mustangs, I think most if not all of them had wood grain on the dash where I did the silver. I don't want to do wood. Faux wood is so 1970s. So we left that out and I just painted everything like a brushed aluminum. And then all the vents and the gauges and all that are black. The shifter is a little vague. It doesn't really show a knob on the top. But the interior comes out pretty decent. I went with red because I'm tired of doing black interiors, and I'm kind of painting the car to look like the one I had, so it's going to be a silver body, and I think the red interior will look good there. As far as the undercarriage goes, I'll show you this quick. The wheels, picked those out with paint. They got pretty decent. Didn't take that long to do. I was kind of dreading it, but it wasn't that bad. And this is the undercarriage. You can pick some details out with paint, but there's not a whole lot going on here. I gave this car an aluminum drive shaft. I figured, why not? And just semi-glossed some of the other parts and picked out some things in silver, but not a whole lot going on under here. This is probably the poorest part of the kit. So just a quick update there. I'm working on the body now, and we'll have it done here shortly. And we're finished. Here's a quick wrap up on this Monogram Snap Tight kit. It actually didn't come out bad. So the color is some leftover spray touch-up paint I had for a BMW. Yeah, it's a silver with a clear coat over it. The interior is a Krylon red with a spritz of dull coat on it to take the shine off. And there's a lot of black trim on this car. You can't cheat with this one and use bare metal foil because everything's black, there's no chrome. So that took a long time. I was able to mask the bumpers and the side moldings pretty well with tape, but around the windows the relief wasn't as strong, so they're all picked out by hand. The taillights are molded into the body, so you have to paint those externally. The mirrors are attached. And the front bumper and back bumper and body shell, as you saw before, are all one piece. So let's look at the underside of this thing. Not a whole lot going on here, but you can pick some of the parts out with paints. I did semi-gloss on the suspension parts, some steel on the transmission, and I gave it an aluminum drive shaft just for giggles. The fan shroud was picked out in gray for like gray plastic. You want to make sure that you paint the underside of the body shell in the front and the trunk area, because it's gonna, there's a big opening here in the front where you're just going to be able to see the underside of the hood and the back side of the bumper. So you want to make sure you cover that with something other than your body color. But there's enough detail there to pick a few things out, but this is not a kit you're going to ever really want to turn on its side and look at again, probably like this. Plus the wheels or the tires have no back sides to them. They're just blank. You know, they're pretty ugly. So this is a display item only. So we don't have to show you the engine or anything like that because there is none. Showed you the interior tub before. The front seats have no backs to them, but with them in the car you really can't see it, so it's not that big of a deal. But overall, this makes a nice little Fox body, early 4i Fox body. And it's kind of fun in a way to put one of these together because other than painting the body shell and detailing the dash and stuff, there isn't much to do. You can get pretty quick instant gratification from a kit like this. I like monograms for the most part. What I did with this one, if you'll notice, versus the one in the box, I cut the side pipes off. I didn't like those. I thought they were a little dopey looking. And this side in particular, you can see where they were and where I trimmed it. I don't know why. I don't know if the chassis is warped slightly or what, but this side isn't nearly as bad. It fits to the body shell much better, and I just glued that bottom seam to keep it together. You can still see the pipes for the side pipes under there, but there's no other exhaust system shown. Again, you're not going to look at the underside of this kit ever, so I'm not too worried about that. But I got rid of the side pipes. Debated about painting the white letters on the tires because they are raised pretty good. I think you could pick those out with a paint pen or something. But ultimately decided not to. This is kind of a replica of, kind of a replica of the car I used to have. I had an 81 hatchback. And mine had TRX wheels on it, which this kit doesn't have. It has the GT wheels. And this has, as I mentioned before, it has the Cobra front spoiler and the hood with faux vents in it. But other than that, it looks like it's plain Jane notchback. It doesn't really allude to what it is supposed to be under the hood. Of course, we're all going to assume it's a V8, but it could be a V6 for all we know. Or a straight 6. I think you could get those back then, too. So, there it is. Not a whole lot you can comment on here with this kit, but it was a different challenge to do something like this. I hadn't done a snap kit in forever. I think the last one I did was a Monogram semi-truck, and those were actually pretty nice too. And this is a different scale. This is 1/32, so it's also a little bit different, something to do outside the normal scale. And it's kind of nice doing the smaller scales because the details, you can do less details, but it's still going to look like you've done something to it. And also, being a smaller kit hides your flaws a little bit better too. So don't overlook these. If you're looking to add something to your collection, whether it be a Mustang or any other kind of car, there's a couple different snap kits that they made back in the day, and some that they make now. There's a very nice Raptor kit out, and probably going to pick that up and do that. But I had a lot of fun with this thing for what time it took to do, and I think it came out looking okay. So that's it for the Monogram Snap Tight Faux Cobra Mustang Coupe.